What's going on, guys? Welcome back to YANMAR Central. It's a chilly 7 degrees out here this morning, and I noticed that my steering wheel wouldn't turn. So what we have here is a classic case of a little bit of water got down into our power steering box here, or I shouldn't say power steering box. Really, this is just a gearbox, and it's really kind of interesting if you ever dig into how these work and all the little mechanisms that are in there. It's not what you would think. So kind of interesting, but today the point of this video is going to be getting this unfrozen and getting it usable for now. So we got the fuel tank out of the way, and this is the fill plug that we've been trying to get to, which, by the way, if you guys are trying to get into this, it's a 6mm hex. So looks like it's full of fluid, so that's good. We may have to actually take some of this out in order to get some replacement fluid in here. So now I'm going to use this pump and go ahead and evacuate some of the old oil out of here. So this is all we were able to get. Basically, whatever is within these tubes. As you can see, it didn't even pump all the way out the end. So we basically filled these tubes with dirty fluid, which, by the way, this stuff is very, very horrible stuff. It just so happens that where the fill hole is right exactly where they put the gear. So you can't even evacuate the fluid out of the gearbox. So anyways, that's why we couldn't get any of the fluid out. I'm sure you guys are thinking the same thing I am. Why in the heck didn't they just put a drain plug on this thing? Man, it would have been nice. Now, knowing that we have this really dirty fluid in here, I'm really wanting to change it. So I watched a couple videos. It looks like this shaft that goes across here pops out this way, but we have to take this cover off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. Now, if you guys are attempting this same thing, I will say watch a couple Hoy tractor videos, get an idea for what the inside of this gearbox looks like, and just be really careful, because on the end of this shaft is this adjuster, and it can be broken really easy. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Really, honestly, the biggest thing with this that I was worried about is the seal. But I think we should be able to take care of that with some RTV. But as you can see, I'm really glad that we're going to go ahead and drain all this fluid out, because it really, really needs it. So in order to get the water kind of broken up, melted out of there, we got this heater on it. I'm sure this isn't going to get all the water out, so we're going to do a mix of this and gear oil, but we'll get there when we get there. For now, I'm just trying to heat this whole section of the tractor, and hopefully that'll help all the gear oil and most of all of the water drain out of here. While we're waiting for the heater to do its work, I did want to show you guys what's going on down in here. So hopefully you can see that. All that really grainy, gritty stuff down in there, that's actually ice. See if it'll focus. There you go. And actually, if you watch closely, you can see it slowly melting. So, like I said before, that's the whole problem. We had some gear oil and then water at the bottom. So anyways, that's the issue. So the heater's been at it for a while. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner to get the rest of what's in there out. All right, so ran some brake parts cleaner through there. Everything is now all dried out and as clean as it's gonna get. So next step is gonna be to put some gasket maker on there. Like I said, some RTV. So this is ultra gray high torque from Permatex. So I'm gonna throw this stuff on here and then we'll probably let it dry as much as it's going to overnight. And then we'll go ahead and fill the gearbox with oil. So our RTV is applied. We need to put the cover back on there and wait. While we're waiting for the RTV to dry, here's my analysis on how water got into my steering gearbox. So everything from the gearbox on up to the bottom of the steering wheel is completely sealed off, and I didn't have any issues with any of that stuff. So all that is out of the picture. So what was happening is we got a keyway where the steering wheel bolts onto here, and I'll show you guys a screen grab of it. Basically, the steering wheel is kind of like a cup in the center, and water was just sitting in there and getting down in that keyway and running down the steering column right into the steering gearbox. So that's pretty much how we're getting water into the gearbox. So basically what I've decided to do was put a center cap in this thing. And no, this is not the factory center cap, but you guys can quickly, easily, and cheaply put one of these in your tractor, and it's gonna save you a whole lot of headache on down the road. So I highly recommend you guys get one of these if you don't have a center cap. I'm not even sure if you can buy a factory one, but this is what I did to mine. If you guys wanna know all the details on this, go to the description box below. I'll have a video link down there. You guys can go check it out. So it's the next day, and as you guys can see, I did put a heater on it to help the RTV dry. Now it's time to fill the gearbox with oil, and I am going to be putting some of this diesel 911 in it as well. So anybody that's worried about this diesel 911 being in here, there's really nothing to worry about. This stuff mixes with petroleum products, so it's not going to have any issue mixing with our gear oil. All right guys, so it's late at night. Figured I'd save you the shirtless video. I just wanted to explain why we're putting the diesel 911 in the steering gearbox. And basically it's to prevent water from freezing if it gets in there again. And also, like I said, that gearbox, I don't think you can get it completely cleaned out. So therefore it's still gonna have some water in the bottom, and I didn't want to take any chances with the leftover water being able to freeze. So basically that diesel 911 prevents water from freezing, and if there is any ice in there, it also will melt that ice. So that's why we're putting the diesel 911 in the steering gearbox. And now we got some of this stuff, 85W140. We're gonna put the thick stuff in there. This is gear oil. And this will hopefully be good for a while. But as I was saying before, this gearbox eventually will be needing to get rebuilt. So I'm really not too worried about putting the diesel 911 in there anyways. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. All right, so we went ahead and got the gear oil in the gearbox, and we also put the fill plug back in there. Now I'm gonna reassemble the tractor. All right, so everything is back together. Now, of course, it's been in the shop with the heater on it and all that kind of thing, but we got fresh fluid in it in the diesel 911, so it shouldn't freeze up again. Now, we're gonna leave the video off here, and then I'll come back on a cold morning and I'll show you guys that it still will steer. I've already got it out of the garage, got it started up, and I know it steers all the way to the left, but I may as well show you guys. It steers a little bit easier. I mean, of course, it's on the snow right now, but yeah, definitely having proper gear oil in it, and that just a little bit of that diesel 911 helps a lot. Most of all of the water is gone, and we got fresh fluid in it. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap on this video. If you guys like the video or learned something, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out that description box below, and we'll catch you guys on the next YANMAR tractor video. Peace.